And guys, every year I feel like we have the same conversation. Miles Garrett does not come to OTAs, the voluntary OTAs. Dustin, do you care that Miles Garrett is not here?
I do not care that Miles Garrett's not at these voluntary workouts or whatever you want to call them. He's one of the few guys that I really don't think needs to be here. I don't think he needs to be here.
Even with a new coach, do we think there's any?
No. Zero. Let me make a clarification, too. The workouts started yesterday. OTAs is practice, and that doesn't come until May 20th or so.
That's a bad job out of me. Voluntary workouts, not OTAs.
But we have this discussion every year, and it gets clouded. And
Right.
And people yell and scream, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback, especially with a quarterback competition going on, you need to be there. I think it's good for the guys that are there, and especially this team this young, you're trying to set it. But, Miles Garrett is Miles Garrett. The Browns have handed him the keys to the franchise and said, do what you want, drive as fast as you want, right? Show up when you want, practice when you want, and go have 20-plus sacks. And he did. Yeah. It works. They knew he wasn't going to be there. He hasn't been around. He's earned the right, and the Browns have signed up for this situation. So to me, it's silly. Is it more fascinating this year because there's this quarterback competition? Because they are with a new coach, you get 2 extra weeks of the program. You get a voluntary mini camp in 2 weeks to actually get on the field. Yes, but Miles Garrett's not going to participate in any of that anyway.
Right.
Joel Bitonio did not show up for the whole back half of his career for anything until mandatory minicamp. Joel Bitonio is held in high regard. Joel Bitonio had an outstanding career. Joel Bitonio might still play. We don't know how that's going to go, but it was never a discussion with him. It's these guys that tend to be lightning rods in other ways.
Yeah.
And it's like people looking for something like, we need to set the culture. No, you need about 15 new offensive players is really what you need.
Right. It's been the silliest conversation for years. Yeah. I never cared that Miles Garrett was there. It's always been like, if you said to me, okay, it's up to you. Should Miles Garrett be there or not? I mean, okay, I'd rather him be there than not. That doesn't mean it matters.
Right.
If I had to choose, okay. But
if Miles Garrett were a rookie, I'd probably be like, that's a lot.
Well, people are making a thing now. I think the latest is because Lamar Jackson showed up. Lamar Jackson's a quarterback. To me, that's a totally different story.
And they have a new coach.
Yes.
Right, but the Browns have a new coach too.
But he's not a quarterback.
Yeah. And so, who cares? I don't care. Good. And by the way, if Lamar Jackson didn't show up, I wouldn't care if I was a Ravens fan.
No, I wouldn't
But
either.
he's still a quarterback, and that's why he's there. So
I'd rather my quarterback be there.
Of course, I'd rather all my players be there. But if they're not, it's still a no deal.
Right. And as this goes, there are guys that aren't there from day. This is the time of year. Right?
Yeah.
There's graduations. There's stuff going on.
Right.
It
guys
goes
are
on.
in and out.
Yeah. So ultimately, you get the voluntary minicamp is different this year, and it will get eyeballs because there's a quarterback competition. There's a new coach. We want to see who's first. It's probably Shedeur Sanders, but we don't know. But when you get to May, you have 10 OTAs between the mid to end of May and early June, and then you have minicamp going into that. So then you're on the practice field, and those are work days. But what the Browns did yesterday and today is show up, have a meeting, have a scripted workout that really wasn't a whole lot different than the workout that guys have been doing on their own to some extent.
Well, I was just going to make the comment, Zach, that to be honest with you, the workouts that we do during this volunteer portion, they're a joke. They're not that hard. They're not like the strength coaches in the NFL. By
What
the way,
is the point of it then?
Just to get guys in the building and
see what they look like. I mean,
you're building a team.
Yeah.
There's more that goes into it than just the practices and the workouts and things like that. I'm just saying the strength coaches in the NFL, I thought our strength coaches in college were way harder on us, were way better.
Well, and you had 6 a.m. workouts in February.
That stuff really got you. These workouts, it's like a country club.
Yeah, these guys are pros, right? And so yes, they're doing this and they have to be in shape. But again, this is the first week of April.
Right. We're a long way.
You're a long way away.
There's nothing guys are doing physically in this.
No. And even when the OTA days start, it's time limited. It's a simulation of a real work day, but it's time limited. It's a percentage of the meetings. Practice is timed. There's no full contact. There's none. So you're going through it, but you're not letting it rip until training camp. And even then, there's an acclimation period built in. So yes, you want to be around. You want guys to learn. You want guys bought in. That happens anyway. That happens organically. And guys know that other players have certain things. They structure rookie minicamp a certain way. So when they bring the rookies in, they stay and join the program the next day. That is still 4 weeks away.
Right.
So this is phase one of a workout program.
If these guys actually broke a sweat yesterday, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
It's
way more orientation than the first day of school.
That's how basic it is. Yeah. I mean, it's you get in there. I mean, they really do take you through baby steps. I mean, we're assets, right? I mean, as a professional athlete or a football player, especially the guys who are drafted really high, like these coaches aren't there to grind you down. I mean, they have every capability to know your body inside and out, and they treat you like with kid gloves, essentially, because they don't want you to get hurt. They don't want to push you like it's a 6 a.m. workout, they yell at you like you're in boot camp. It's not like that.
If you're a fringe player that doesn't have any guaranteed money, you should be coming to anything anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And the introduction to the playbook is important. You need to grasp it. So those guys have to be there anyway and set that tone. But again, 1-2 days in April, it's just the start of it. It's not the be-all, end-all by any means.
I know.
Real quick, Bo, the Browns posted a couple pictures and videos of guys yesterday.
Yeah.
It was people in the weight room. It was people weighing in.
Yeah.
And saying hi when they walked in.
Yeah, it's getting to know each other maybe to some degree. You want to make sure guys are doing the right, especially a younger player. If somebody's like somebody like DeJuan Jones, they're probably interested in what his weight is.
But he's been in every day because he's been rehabbing.
Right.
So again,
it's good that the quarterbacks are there, especially the two young guys. I know. I did have when Todd Monken said that basically Dillon Gabriel hadn't been in the building and Shedeur was. I had a little bit of beef with that with Dillon Gabriel.
I personally did too, only from the standpoint that why not? And
if it had been Shedeur,
because it's the off season, that's why not. Because nothing's been going on. Nothing started until yesterday.
Right.
Shedeur was in Cleveland for 90% of the offseason, so he chose to go do his workouts there. And again, and I said this, and I'm not taking anything away.
Yeah.
Dillon Gabriel was with us. It's the offseason. Like, nothing started.
Right.
Even when he was in the building, he was not allowed to talk football with Todd Monken. He was allowed to meet his coaches and be around his team. There was no practice, no meeting, no playbook, no anything. Shedeur was going in and choosing to lift there rather than lifting at his house.
But I like that.
Planet Fitness or wherever.
I like
and
that.
there's nothing wrong with it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. But Dillon Gabriel lives in Hawaii, and Dillon Gabriel has the same right as everyone else.
Yeah.
Dillon Gabriel has no chance to be an NFL starting quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, it's the most absurd thing.
Yeah.
Shedeur he went to Europe, and then he was in Cleveland almost the rest of the time. So he came to the facility, and the Browns posted a couple pictures, and people like, now he's got it figured out.
He's all in. I think it's a positive that he was there.
I mean, look, Todd said on the record, Todd said, I saw Deshaun one day. I met Deshaun one day.
Right.
They knew Deshaun was coming back. When they say they're excited about Deshaun, we can translate that how they want to. But he was only there one day, one more day than Dillon Gabriel. There's zero difference.
Yeah. There would have been, I don't really care about these things. There would have been a hubbub if Shedeur had not been there, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But
I don't think it's the end of the world.
None of this stuff is really that important.
I did say that because I had a personal experience when I was with the Vikings with my new coaching staff, and that we just kind of got off on the wrong foot, and it was all during this voluntary stuff, and if I could do it over again, I would have been more, I don't know, not that I wasn't there, but I would have been up my coaches' butts, hey, what can I do? I just wanted to get to know them.
Sure, and again, that started yesterday.
Yeah. And Dillon's probably gonna be here now, right?
Yes, all three quarterbacks were in.
All three quarterbacks are in attendance.
Yeah. All right, no big deal.
The question is Dillon going to be on the roster on April 26th? Well, who's really going to trade something for him until they need to?
Atlanta.
Nobody.
Nothing.
Why would you trade Andy for him?
I mean, someone might trade a 6
the Browns
or
cut
7.
him?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Well,
he's making
I guess not.
Making no money. You need.
Do you think they're going to draft a quarterback at all?
I do think so.
You need camp arms.
So
we have to be realistic about this Deshaun Watson situation.
Right. But he's going to be here. They're not going to cut him.
Right. But if he plays what gives you any confidence that he's going to even be healthy, let alone play well?
None.
But. And this is how you've ended up in prior years,
right?
With Bailey Zappi playing snaps.
Yeah. But they're
that's really how I want to see the guy, just in sweats all year.
That's correct.
If he's here, they're going to give him a chance whether we like it or not. Sure. Do I have any faith that he can stay healthy and let alone play at any kind of level I want him? I have no faith in that.
So there's your answer about why you're not cutting Dillon Gabriel or just trading him to trade him. Right.
Okay.
No, I do think they are going to draft a quarterback and probably have to. But is it going to be just a mid-round total project, or are they going to target Simpson, Nussmeier, or someone else?
What's your best guess right now is where Simpson will go?
I think he'll go late in the first.
Yeah.
Because I think teams, especially a guy that only has one season of college starts, I think teams value that not only the fifth-year option, but knowing before Friday that they're going to. If someone likes Ty Simpson, someone's going to take Ty Simpson in the 20s. So you think kind of the simplest way I can say.
Do you think it's a team that, like the Rams, who are learn behind Matthew Stafford for a little while? or is it a bad team that trades back up from the early second round?
It's a great question. The Rams traded their pick. They have Atlanta's pick at number 13, but they traded their pick at the end of the round.
Yeah, they're not going to take them in 13, probably.
Yeah, but all those teams at the end of the first round are always willing to trade out.
Yeah, that's true.
Pickups because they're just trying to replenish later.
Right.
So that's where I think it will go. I think if Ty Simpson's a great prospect, I think the Jets will consider it. The Steelers will consider it. The Browns will consider it. I think it's more likely the end of the first round. But there is a shroud of mystery here because he only played one season and he only played half that season well. And there's nothing special about him physically.
Yeah.
Like he and Nussmeier both are like 6 foot 209, 6'1", 209.
Yeah, right.
They're not. They're mobile enough. They're not fast. Nussmeier has more good tape, but more recent awful tape.
Yeah.
And Ty Simpson, like he really was good. This Orlovsky argument's gotten out of control, but he really was good the first half of last year. And then he got hurt. He got a virus or something from dealing with his rehab and was playing at like under 190 pounds with a hurt elbow. And on a team that just really wasn't any good. So it just didn't work out.
And those games just happened to be very televised. Like, people were watching a lot of those games and were like, this guy stinks.
Sure.
Who's the upside? Like some random quarterback that could get drafted around 4 or 5?
Talon Green.
Yeah.
Talon Green. Whatever.
Where's he from?
From Arkansas. But the answer is Cole Payton from North Dakota State. A left-handed one-year starter from North Dakota State. Yeah.
Left-handed?
This is the state of quarterbacking. Boy.
He's lefty Tim Tebow. He's a starting running back last year and then moved to quarterback and had a pretty damn good season.
Tim Tebow was the worst quarterback I've ever seen in the NFL.
No, you've been in Cleveland for like 15 years.
One of the worst. He had the worst. His throwing mechanics was the worst I'd ever seen.
Who was worse, Tebow or Cody Kessler?
I guess Cody Kessler. I don't know.
I'm just making you think of
Cody Kessler wasn't drafted in the first round.
Right.
Sean Kaiser.
Tim Tebow, great guy, bad quarterback. Sean Kaiser.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel was the worst. He was the worst.
Come on.
Who was that guy that threw 5 picks for the Bills?
Peterman.
Nathan Peterman, right? Yeah, sound like a Seinfeld character. So this North Dakota is there a chance he could be a good quarterback?
So he was at the Senior Bowl because NFL teams wanted to see him on that stage.
Yeah. So he never played quarterback before this year?
No, he never started at North Dakota State. He
played
goal line and they put him in at other positions because he's an athlete.
Like what kind of athlete? Like
6'3", 240.
To decide. Yeah.
Like tight end. Like could do.
He's Taysom Hill. Think Taysom Hill with lefty.
Yeah. There you go. It's a great comp.
At the Senior Bowl, he looked the part.
Yeah.
McShay thinks he's going to be the third quarterback taken.
Right.
For what it's worth.
Wow. There's a lot of buzz being generated. Like there's no buzz for Drew Aller. None.
Why did he not play? Who was their starter at DSU?
That's a great question.
Not to put you on the spot, which I just did. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
I don't even know.
Trey Lance's brother's
Easton
in this draft as a wide receiver.
Oh, is he really?
What did you say, Mikey?
Was it Easton Stick or was that before?
That's
Easton,
long ago.
Easton Stick's been in the NFL for a number of
Chargers
years.
drafted that kid years ago.
It's a great name, though. He should have been a better player
Hell
with
of
the
a
name
name.
Easton Stick. What a
It's a
factory.
baseball. It's a baseball name because Easton's a baseball bat brand. Easton Stick.
Yeah, I guess.
What a factory that program has been, and now they're coming up. The North
They're
Dakota
going
are
to
they?
be at FBS.
That's interesting.
Sure.
They joined the Mountain West Conference for football.
Along with the Huskies of Northern Illinois.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come
Real
back.
quick, their quarterback was Cam Miller in 2024, who just happened to throw for 43 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So
Is that good?
Everybody puts up. Don't they go undefeated every year?
No.
they went 14-2 last year.
They lose like 1 or 2. They're like Ohio State.
Okay. The Ohio State. They were in Division II last year?
FCS.
FCS. 1 double A.
Now they're up.
Yeah.
Now